Flor Bressers. The name alone strikes fear into the hearts of law enforcement officials worldwide. He is a shadowy figure whose criminal empire spans continents, and his ruthlessness knows no bounds. But who is this elusive underworld mastermind? Join us as we delve into the life and crimes of the most wanted criminal of our time. Here we begin with the video. Welcome to the dark and dangerous underworld, where brute force can only take you so far. In this cutthroat world, it's the cunning and intelligence that can elevate you to the top, and one name that commands respect in this shadowy realm is none other than Flor Bressers, a Belgian drug lord who reigns supreme over Europe's narco-crime scene. Bressers, born on September 6, 1986, in the Dutch-speaking Flanders region of Belgium, possesses a rare combination of youth, education, and sheer brutality. Growing up in Belgium, he had the perfect breeding ground to carve out his path as a major drug kingpin. With Antwerp's port serving as a gateway for various shipments from around the globe, and the Netherlands' lenient drug laws right next door, the possibilities were endless for this enterprising criminal mastermind. Master's degree. Did Flor Bressers have a master plan for becoming a notorious drug lord? It may not have been an immediate thought, but his calculated actions suggest otherwise. Bressers attended university and obtained a degree in criminology, a field that could be useful in organized crime. His business plan was also clearly defined. He positioned himself strategically between the drug cartels in South America and the buyers in Belgium and the Netherlands, ultimately becoming one of the largest drug lords in Europe after shipping tons of cocaine. It's no surprise that Bressers is now facing accusations of importing massive amounts of cocaine from South America to Europe with the help of a criminal organization. Though the exact quantity is unknown, it's believed to be in the ton range. With his extensive knowledge and expertise, it's clear that Bressers' master's degree in criminology has played a significant role in his criminal success, earning the nickname the Finger Cutter. Despite his impressive education, Flor Bressers did not shy away from the brutal and violent world of organized crime. In fact, he became known for his extreme acts of violence. In 2010, he was prosecuted for cutting off the finger of a rival Dutch gangster with a pair of pruning shears in the southern part of the Netherlands. The case against Bressers alleges that he cut off the finger of the gangster over a decade ago, but was ultimately acquitted due to a lack of evidence. However, Bressers' defense lawyers successfully argued his case. 2 years ago, Bressers used similar violent methods to injure a Dutch florist who failed to smuggle drugs past customs. This time, he was found guilty and sentenced for the crime. While the court may have acquitted him of previous charges, Bressers had already earned a new nickname, the Finger Cutter. This was added to the nicknames he had already amassed, including the Tall One and the University Graduate. Despite his education, Bressers' actions demonstrate that he is not one to be trifled with in the world of organized crime. On the run. For 2 years, Flor Bressers lived as a fugitive, constantly evading authorities thanks to a network of helpers who helped him acquire new identities. However, investigators finally caught up to the 36-year-old in South Africa, where they suspected he had been hiding. In March 2020, Bressers faced a conviction in Antwerp for his involvement in kidnapping a Dutchman who had messed up a drug shipment. Bressers held the man hostage, slashed him with a razor, and beat him severely. He was also convicted of being a member of a criminal organization. These heinous crimes had occurred 4 years prior, in February 2016, in the city of Antwerp. Bressers received a sentence for 4 years in prison, but rather than facing his punishment, he fled and became Belgium's most wanted criminal. Europol also placed him on their list of most wanted fugitives, further fueling the hunt for him. Despite his efforts to escape justice, Bressers' criminal past eventually caught up to him, and he was brought to justice for his heinous actions. Arrest. The world is a big place. For a man like Bressers, it was his playground. He had connections all over the globe, from his suppliers in South America to his buyers in Europe, and he himself could be found in any one of the many hotspots where fugitive drug lords like to gather. Spain, Dubai, and the Caribbean, these were just a few of the places he frequented. But despite his wealth, connections, and ability to move freely worldwide, Bressers' luck finally ran out. After 2 years on the run, one of Europe's most wanted drug lords was finally captured in Switzerland. Flor Bressers was a Belgian with a master's degree in criminology. He had been sought by authorities since 2020, when he was sentenced to 4 years in jail for kidnapping, slashing with a razor, and beating a Dutch florist who failed to smuggle drugs past UK customs. This was not the first time he had been in trouble with the law, having been prosecuted previously in 2010 for allegedly cutting off the finger of a Dutch criminal with pruning shears. However, he was acquitted for lack of evidence. Bressers was linked to numerous cases involving a narcotics gang operating in Antwerp, believed to have smuggled tons of cocaine from South America into Europe. He was on both a Belgian and Europol most wanted list for kidnapping, illegal restraint, hostage-taking, and participation in a criminal organization. Authorities had long suspected that Bressers was hiding out in South Africa, but it was in Zurich where he was finally caught, along with his partner and child. He thought he could evade the law by living in the lap of luxury with his wife and son in Zurich. However, his arrogance proved to be his downfall, as he was arrested by the Zurich Cantonal Police and the Federal Office of Police Fedpol in February. Bressers and his wife were living under fake identities in a swanky apartment near Zurich Hardbrook Station. Despite his notoriety, Bressers did not resist arrest and was taken into custody without incident. The joint action that led to his arrest was spearheaded by the Zurich Canton's Public Prosecutor's Office too, and the Special Unit Diamant was deployed to ensure a successful operation. Now, Belgium has requested Bressers' extradition so that he can begin serving his 4-year sentence for his involvement in serious organized crime. In Switzerland, Bressers is believed to have invested his ill-gotten gains from drug trafficking, as revealed in the court decision. Christoph Eyerts, a spokesperson for prosecutors in Antwerp, confirmed that Bressers was linked to ongoing judicial investigations in Antwerp, West Flanders, and East Flanders. These investigations focused on international drug trafficking, which was marred by violence. The manhunt for Bressers lasted several months and involved various Swiss police forces, culminating in his arrest that fateful night. The fact that Bressers lived under a fake identity and in a luxurious apartment shows how brazen some criminals can be. Nevertheless, justice has caught up with him, and he will now face the consequences of his actions. Meanwhile, the notorious drug lord, considered one of the most wanted criminals in the world, is currently in solitary confinement. At the age of 36, he was allegedly involved in the drug trade, and his dangerous nature has led to his confinement. Despite his extradition from Switzerland to Belgium being approved by the Federal Supreme Court, Bressers can still appeal the verdict, as the presumption of innocence still prevails. With that, let's get insight into the increased violence by drug cartels before and after the arrest of Flor Bressers. Drug cartels from Mexico and Colombia have brought extreme violence to Europe. A torture chamber was discovered in the Netherlands, with a dentist chair modified with restraints and various tools. Cocaine production has more than doubled in the last 7 years, with drug cartels using the deep sea ports of Antwerp and Rotterdam to smuggle drugs into Europe. A significant amount remains undetected, despite authorities confiscating 70 tons of drugs in Rotterdam and 36 tons in Antwerp. Drug gangs are increasingly violent and even targeting the state, with the Dutch Crown Princess Amalia being targeted by the mocro maffia. Recent reports show that the purity of cocaine is increasing while the price remains the same, resulting in smaller profit margins for retailers. Cocaine-related reports make up 25% of all drug-related reports in the country, with approximately 9,000 people being reported for cocaine usage in 2021. What do you think of the most wanted underworld criminal, Flor Bressers? Comment below and make sure to subscribe for more such uploads. We'll see you soon, and thanks for watching.